Have I learned nothing? I wanted to see if I could finish in 2 hours. My bulletin board here is completely empty. Y'all, I just could not wait. I'm a little bit funky and it might not work. This might be a super fun color combination. Oh my goodness, you guys, can you even handle how cute this cat couch is? One last little triangle here. I even started the sweater already. Hey y'all, it's Terry from yokieB.com. Welcome to my channel where I share crochet and knitting patterns and tutorials, as well as finished projects and lots of fun fiber things. Today I thought it might be fun to just bring you guys along as we plan for some 2024 projects. I wanted to go through some of my patterns, some of my yarn. Kind of just wanted to get inspired about some new projects. It really got me inspired today to do this video as I was wanting to make a sweater out of this yarn right here and just thinking about different colors that I wanted to go with it and how I wanted it to look. And so then I was like, you know what, maybe I'll just make a whole video. But that's kind of how the inspiration for this video got started. I just finished up what I made in 2023, and I have not really thought a lot about, besides whips that I already had, I haven't thought a lot about what I want to make for 2024. I have made some progress on my whips. I finished my scrappy socks that I showed you guys in my last video, so I'm very excited to have those done. I just need to block them. I also finished the blanket that was a gift. I don't have a video of that, unfortunately. I will put a picture right here, but I also want to make a tutorial for that one. I just want to adjust some of the measurements a little bit. I have also made some progress on my Harley sweater. I'm almost done with the second sleeve. So as I was finishing some of these whips from 2023, I just wanted to get inspired and excited about projects for this year. So I thought this might just be a fun opportunity to do that. Figured I would just make a video, bring you guys along, show you some patterns that I'm excited about, some yarns I want to try. I also want to use up some of my scrap yarn this year and just really have fun getting inspired. As you can see, my bulletin board here is completely empty, and I thought that it needed some inspiration. It needed some things, maybe some swatches. I don't know. So let's just have some fun playing with yarn and coming up with super fun crochet and knitting ideas. Started out by trying to think of everything that had come to mind to make in the last year or so. Some are recent things and other ideas had been on my mind for a while. I also included gifts that I knew I was going to need to make this year. Gift I already know I need to make this year is this hairy wolf in the Animal Friends of Peek-a-Pow book. I love making these amigurumi creatures so much for gifts, and I'm actually going to make this wolf into a fox. I think it's going to pass as a fox, I hope. I already ordered the yarn for it, so I'm super excited to get started on that one. Next, I looked through my patterns to see if there were any that I wanted to use for these projects. Oh my goodness, you guys, can you even handle how cute this cat couch is? This is definitely on my list. I've had it on my list for a little while. Found the pin on Pinterest, and I just cannot get over how cute this couch is. I had to remember where all my patterns were. I kind of had them scattered all over the place, and I really need to get them more organized, but I did want to check my Ravelry library just to see if there were any patterns there that I wanted to make. Next, I decided to go through my yarn just to see if there were any yarns that I already had on hand that would go with the projects that I wrote down. Crochet socks are definitely on the top of my list as something I want to make very soon. I'm going to use this Felici Arcade Afternoon. I won this in the Vestember Make Along giveaway. Thank you, Marquita. And I think they will make the perfect crochet socks. I pulled out all of my bins of yarn just to see what I had on hand already and what I could use. Got most of my scrap yarn. If you caught my yarn organization video, then you saw that I put these into bins just by weight. So I'm going to go through some of these and just see if there's anything that catches my eye as far as for a scrap yarn project, or if it goes along with any of the things that I've written down. So let's go ahead and see if we get inspired by this yarn. my goodness, you guys, this might be a super fun color combination. Absolutely love this color right here, Dusty Cedar. I just love this color. It is the prettiest color. These might be really cute together, like with a stripe or something. That might be a super fun option. Okay, here we've got these colors laid out. I do think, especially as I'm looking at it here on camera, I think that maybe not this color, but how pretty is this one? It is slightly thinner. This is Drops Charisma, and it's definitely not as thick. This is almost a DK, I would say. Almost. It could maybe go either way, but it is almost a DK. And then these are all worsted or Aran. So I'm not sure if I would use this also. These are all, I love this yarn. I'm not sure what the names of these particular colors are, but I'll make sure to put them down below if I can find them. I really, really like this combination. I just don't know. It's not a whole lot of yarn. What about a gray, you guys? Would we add a gray in here? I don't know. It might be too cool for this, but it might also be cute. I feel like I see the cutest stripes in all of this. This is Lion Brand jeans yarn that I've had for a long, long time. Next day, and I decided to dive into my scraps a little bit more. For one, because I wanted to see if I had enough scrap yarn to make that cat couch. And these balls of Hobby Lobby hand dyed yarn, I want to go ahead and get started on my daughter's sweater. So it's definitely top on my list. I also wanted to go through my bulky yarns just to see if there was any scrap yarn project that I might want to make, anything that I had enough yarn for. And then also I wanted to choose another color to go with these two right here. I want to create a striped sweater that reminds me of a velour like sweatshirt that I had when I was a kid, but I need to figure out what I want to do for the ribbing. So that is on my list today. And also I thought today maybe we could get some swatches done. I'm actually wearing my Marfa sweater by We Are Knitters. I forget that I have this sweater all the time. For a little while I even lost it. I wasn't even sure where it was. It's maybe my first knit intarsia project, I'm not sure, but it was a fun one. I enjoyed picking out the colors for it. It's made in the Petite wool, and I can't remember all of the colors, but I'll make sure to put them down below if they still carry the colors. If I have enough of this Lion Brand Woolies Thick and Quick, I may make another Sparrow Lake beanie. I was going through my beanies today, and I wear my Sparrow Lake beanie. It's a pattern from Knit Brooks. It's really, really cute. I'll link it down below if you want to check it out. I wear that beanie all the time, and I would love to make another one. I just don't know if there's enough yardage here, but if I have enough, then I may go ahead and make one of those with this yarn. Also curious if this Burnout Forever fleece, you guys have heard me talk about it a little bit. I was gonna try to see if it might make a super soft and cozy sweater for my daughter. If I have enough here, I'm not sure if I have enough here, but I think I also have a few more scraps just in maybe some other colors. So that's another thought that I had. To put most of my fabric yarn into a bin here together just to see if anything came to mind that I wanted to make. I also think I may try, it might be a little bit funky and it might not work, but for the ribbing I may go with this right here. I don't know. If I don't like it, I may just end up doing a ribbing with these colors already, but I really love this turquoise and purple together, and then it's kind of funky, but I do love a funky color combo. So I'm gonna try that. I'm gonna do a little bit of experimenting there, so let's see if that works. I also wanted to swap out the project that's in here and put this granny square blanket in here because I love this project bag. It's my favorite one, and so I am going to take out my Harley sweater because all I have left is one last little triangle here. I worked on it last night some, so I'm super excited. One more triangle on that, and then I'm pretty sure it's just seaming it together and then putting the collar on. I'm going to take this out of this project bag and then put this blanket in because I have quite a bit of yarn balls in here. Kind of a mess. Have I learned nothing from my previous yarn organization video? this is what I've got so far for ribbing. I decided to go with a like slip stitch ribbing. I think I'm going to end up folding it so that it's a double ribbing. So I'm pretty happy with the way that it's looking, and I'm not going to do a whole lot more than this. I do want to make sure that it goes with the turquoise. I'm also going to do a separate swatch of the turquoise and yellow just to make sure that I can get all the measurements right for the sweater. I'm pretty sure that I'm going to go with this as the ribbing, so we'll see. I know I have yarn literally everywhere, but this is kind of the idea that I want to go for. I think I'm going to go down a hook size, at least a half a hook size, maybe even a whole hook size, and then I may go up a half a hook size here. But y'all, I know that this color combination is weird, but I think I'm going to go with it. I really like it. Y'all, I am back. It is a few days later. I have a couple of swatches. I also have a new haircut, so I do look quite different than I did the last time. I'm excited to share a couple of these swatches. I've made some different decisions on things as far as like this velour sweater here. So here's a little swatch that is so cute. I love it, and I think that I may use this technique in the future for something else. I think I'm going to end up knitting this sweater. So I know I really wanted to make a crochet sweater, but the vision that I have in my head and the shirt that I have when I was a kid, I just feel like knitting it gives more of that look than crochet. But I definitely want to crochet a velour sweater, and so I was excited about how this little swatch turned out. I even like the back of it, but ultimately I think that's what I'm going to go with. So I'm going to use my super easy knitting tutorial for the knit sweater that I'm going to make with this. I do still want to make a crochet version of that. I just have to figure out how I want to make it, because I also want it to lay nicely, and of course knitting and crochet is very different. So I just need to kind of iron out the details of that. Now the colors that I was super excited to use, I just went with. Like, I just made the swatch and got super excited and even started the sweater already. So here is the swatch that I made. This is not a 4x4 swatch, but I wanted to see how it looked with the stripes, and then also, you may have seen this in my community feed, but I wanted to see how it looked with the pink on either side. And I've already got part of both the front and back panels done on this sweater. Y'all, I just could not wait. That's what this whole process and video is about, is just getting inspired. And I love when you get inspired about something, you just go with it, you just run with it. And so that's what happened with this sweater. This isn't the whole panel. I do want it to be a crop sweater, but I kind of stopped because I was afraid I might run out of yarn. I do have enough to do the sleeves, but I'm gonna have to get a little creative with the contrast colors on this. So this is either the front or the back. They're both the same at this point. I just think the stripes look so cute. I did this in Tunisian Simple Stitch. I have a little short of a tutorial for the Tunisian Simple Stitch, and also I have a pattern, like a little table runner. I actually made it for Christmas, but you could make it for any time, and so I'll make sure to link those down below. But I was so excited with how it was turning out. I just love these colors together, and I was super inspired to get going, and I can't wait to figure out exactly what I want to do for the top of this sweater. So stay tuned for the details on this, and I am hoping to make a tutorial for it. If you have never tried Tunisian crochet, I highly recommend it. If you've been intimidated by it or anything like that, don't be. I didn't try it forever and ever and ever, and I finally did, and I was like, this is so easy. I've even said before that I feel like it is easier than regular crochet. So if you've been wanting to try it for a while, definitely try it. It is so fun. I just love all of the design possibilities with it. So I highly recommend trying Tunisian crochet. I also already finished the Sparrow Lake beanie. I was super excited to get going on it, and I had plenty of yarn for it. I even have enough yarn to make another one. So I'm definitely gonna do that because I'm giving this one to my daughter. She really wanted it, and so I was happy to give it to her. I made a little short because I wanted to see how long it would take me. I wanted to see if I could finish it in 2 hours. So you will have to stay tuned for that short to see if I actually finished it in 2 hours. But I think that mine, I'm gonna make a little bit more slouchy. I remember the first one I made just became more slouchy over time, and so I think I was just used to that being super slouchy. And I used a different yarn than she uses. I used Lion Brand Woolies Thick and Quick, and I can't remember which yarn she uses in the pattern, but I was very excited to go ahead and finish it. I think I'm even going to make one out of this So Woolly. This one has enough yardage here. It's funny because these are like different amount of yardage. One is 80 yards and this one's 94, so I'm not really sure why that is. But yes, I think I'm gonna make one for myself out of this pink here because I think there's enough yardage. I don't know that there is in this green, even though I really love this green too. But I'm gonna make another one of those because I was definitely inspired to do that. But my daughter also needs beanies, and so I was glad that she liked this one. Well, I was really wanting some fun things to go on the bulletin board, as I mentioned earlier. And you know, nowadays we just don't have a lot of like catalogs and things like that. I used to get so inspired by that, and I think Pinterest, which is nice because you don't have like stacks and stacks of catalogs in your closet that you like almost never go through just for your 1 or 2 pictures of inspiration. But I really do kind of miss that. So I certainly have lots of inspiration on my Pinterest, but I wanted to put some things on here just to be inspired. I'm gonna put my little velour swatch here up on the board because I do plan on using this technique in the future. I got this vintage Knitting Vogue magazine from the thrift store recently, and so I wanted to look through it and see if I found any inspiration to put up on the board. But there wasn't really anything that, I mean, there's some things that I really love in there and things that I definitely want to make, but there was nothing that I wanted to specifically put on my board. I do have like a print that I want to put on there. I know this is my problem though, because I have a lot of things that I love. I have a lot of colors that I love. I have a lot of textures that I love. I have so many things that I love and that I want to try. And so it's really hard for me to narrow it down to have a cohesive kind of mood board situation. So I'm gonna have to work on that a little bit, but I was very excited because I was going through some of my papers and things, and I found these old catalogs from Free People. They're from 2012 and 2013, and y'all, I love Free People sweaters. I'm sure a lot of you guys do. They're just super cool, super unique. This sweater on the front, y'all, is so cute. I love that already. I mean, look at these catalogs. Like, aren't they just the most fun? I love just all of this fashion. It's so cute. Is that Amy Small, the owner of Knit Collage, used to design sweaters for Free People, and I'm sure that is part of the reason why I love her yarn so much, because it's just that like eclectic, lots of texture, lots of fun, unique color combinations, all of those things that I love so much. You guys, but I think I'm gonna cut this. There's not that much yarn here, and it's just a scrap that I had, but I love this stitch. This is the Starburst stitch, and so I'm super inspired by the texture on it. I actually have a tutorial for this stitch that I will link down below, but I really loved just the combination of not only these two colors and textures in the Starburst stitch, but also this slip stitch detail here. I love the yellow addition too. So I think I'm going to cut both of these. I think this will be the last piece that I'm going to put in my little collage here, and I'm super excited with how it turned out. Let's see if this becomes frayed in like 2 seconds. So I have to say, after putting all of this inspiration on the board, I'm super excited with the way it looks. It makes me happy. It definitely sparks creativity. Even though I don't have specific projects yet to go with this inspiration, I know that it will inspire some new ideas, no matter what it is in the future. Thank you guys so much for joining me for my planning crochet knitting projects for 2024. I hope that it was inspiring and maybe gave you some ideas for your own crochet and knitting projects. I'll try to link all of the patterns that I mentioned down below if I can, or anything else that I mentioned in this video. I'll try to make sure to link everything I can down below. I'm excited to really get going on some things. I really needed inspiration. I don't know about you, but sometimes You just need things to kind of give you a jump start in getting inspired. So going through my stash and my scrap yarns was really helpful for me to kind of figure out some things that I already could make, some things that were on my list. It was good to write down everything that I wanted to make because that is just something that I haven't done. I think in general, I just want to be more intentional about writing things down and making sure that I have a list, a running list of things I want to make, yarns I want to try, all of that. So let's make 2024 an amazing crochet and knitting year. Let me know in the comments down below what you're most excited to make, what your planning strategies are. I would love to hear. If you have any planning materials or anything like that, please put that down below. Thank you guys again so much for joining me, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!